The wellness revolution starts now.
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze, and welcome to our program today. It's my privilege to have a longtime friend and guest here of the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, Jim Kaye. Jim's been a guest, great friend, a great guest, and a great ambassador for our center since November of 2001.
That's right.
It's been almost 22 full years. And I can remember the day you came in. I remember I saw you, took you back to James. Why don't you describe it? You came in and let's tell everybody how it happened, how you ended up coming here, how'd you hear about us, and what your symptoms were, what your problems were, and all that.
We'll start with the radio.
Okay.
I was listening to a Christian shortwave radio station on this very radio, and suddenly the shortwave band failed, so I pushed this button here, and it switched to the AM band, and I hit search, and it went zzz, all through all the stations, and it landed on 700 KSEV, and you were talking, and you were explaining all these medicines for asthma and allergies, and I thought, hey, I'm taking all that too, and then you said, they don't work, and I thought, yeah, they don't work. I've been taking them, for like 30 years,
right,
whatever, and they don't work, and so I made an appointment, and so the folks understand, I had been in cardiac arrest from an asthma attack and anaphylactic reaction. 10 years to the date
that
I came here, it just fell that way, and so the radio band goes out. And by the way, I took it out of the barn a couple of weeks ago. It's been in the barn, I don't know, years. I put 2 batteries in, and the shortwave works now. I don't know. So anyway, 10 years to the day, I come in, and
10 years to the day you'd had a cardiac arrest.
And I come in, and you treated me. And so folks understand.
Tell them what kind of symptoms, what were your problems coming in?
Just allergies, okay. When I had severe allergies to certain dogs. Golden Retriever. If I petted a Golden Retriever, folks, look at my hand would bleed. The capillaries would burst and blood would come out of my hands if I touched the dog. If I got near cows, I'd go anaphylactic. My throat would swell shut. So I remember I'm dragging myself up. I could barely get up the steps.
And you had asthma.
Bad. I had asthma 24 hours a day. It never went away. And I would take the albuterol about every 4 to 6 hours, and I'd take 2 puffs. I knew not to take more than that because albuterol coats your lungs and you suffocate. And that was part of how I'd gone into arrest, because I took about 30 puffs and I coated my lungs away that I didn't understand it was a chemical. And I suffocated myself by doing that. And plus I was having something anaphylactic, my throat swelled shut. So that was how I was when I walked in. So you took me in the back, and remember I was sitting on the end of the table, and you gave me your neutralizing drops.
Right.
And I jumped off the table, almost hit the roof. Almost hit the ceiling, I jumped that high. And I went and did a spin, squatted, and stood up because I couldn't do that before. And it was that quick. It was, folks, it was like that fast. And I looked at you and said, what did you do to me? And you said, are you all right? And I said, yeah, I'm great. What did you just do? And you said, I just gave you the drops. And then you said, I don't think I got you exactly right. Let's do it a little better. And so you got me even more tuned up, and everything changed. My whole life changed. It's just been amazing. I was 45 when that happened, and I'm 67 now. That's
we came in. Then you went through the allergy testing and all that.
Yeah.
At that time we did the skin prick.
Yep.
You know, so you went through that whole testing, and we put you on allergy sublingual drops, right?
Right. And
you took those for up until
till the LDA
yeah,
came
right.
along. Yeah. And
you get on the LDA and then the LDI and
right.
follow that?
I was the first here to take
Which?
LDA.
Well,
Way back, 2011.
Yeah.
And
LDA is low dose allergy immunotherapy. LDI is low dose immunotherapy, and that's our latest advance. The sublingual drops used to take 3 drops under your tongue 6 or 7 days a week, and that helped. And then we did the LDA, and you took that. How often were you taking the LDA?
That was, you could take it about every 2 months.
Yeah.
And
that was a low dose sub.
Well, the LDA was actually a shot.
Right. That's right.
And it when I would take it, that the first thing I noticed, it was just like taking the neutralizing drops.
Right.
You just relax. My blood pressure would drop. It was amazing. Asthma would just go away even more.
So tell me about your asthma. You had it for how many years?
1964.
Okay, so you had it since 64, and then you came in 2001, and we neutralized you and put you on sublingual drops. How much improvement on asthma, asthma is when your bronchial tubes close down, and it's caused by the release of histamine from the cells, the mast cells, due to allergies, and they release the histamine, and that causes contraction of the bronchial tubes, and you wheeze. It's hard to breathe, and your lungs are tight. And so you were having that chronically, every day.
All the time. Oh, it was terrible.
Okay, so we put you on the sublingual drops.
Yeah.
Neutralize, you put you on the sublingual drops, and then on the LDI and LDA and LDI. When you got on the first initially on the sublingual drops, how much improvement did you have in your asthma on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being absolutely perfect, 1 being...
I'm sure it was 8. I mean, it was...
How frequently were you having asthma attacks after that?
It went, and by the way, I was able to use the Max Air back then.
Right.
It was even better, which of course now you can't get it.
Right.
Yeah, then that's another story for another video, I guess. But when I switched to that med, now it would take a little longer to stop the asthma, but it was like, I would say I only had it about 20%, 25%
compared to
what I'd been before.
Okay, and that was on the drops. What about when you got on the LDA with a low dose allergy immunotherapy, the injections? How did it? Which was
better. That was
once every 2 months or 3 months.
It was even better, and I would see in that. With that treatment, I had to come. Everybody had to come into the office, and you had to sit afterwards, and it was a time period. I had to take a day off from work or work from home. But that was like once every 2 to 3 months. It was, and my employer was great with it.
Right.
It was no problem.
And then about 2 or 3 years ago, we came up with the LDI, low dose immunotherapy, which we give the low dose immunotherapy sublingually, and you're due for your dose today, right?
Right.
Why don't we show it? Why don't you open it up and let's show everybody what it's like?
And
this is really remarkable.
Yeah, I can actually take it right now.
Right, sure.
It's not, and so everyone can see that. Just think, 1964 when I started allergy treatment, I was getting 3 shots a week, 2 cc shots with glass syringes, and now this.
This is once every 7 to 8 weeks.
Correct.
And there's no needle on it.
No.
You just do it sublingually. Go ahead and show them how you do it.
So everybody can see. I'm going to put this under my tongue and slowly push the plunger.
And he'll hold that there just for a few, 30, 45 seconds. And that will be absorbed sublingually under the tongue. And that contains low-dose immunotherapy. It contains grass pollens, tree pollens, weed pollens, dust mite, mole spore, animal danders, numerous foods, even some low-dose chemicals because people have chemical sensitivity.
I do that as well.
And this is really remarkable. So let me ask you, how have you done on the LDI?
Phenomenal. It's
how
I
often do you have to take an inhaler?
I would say I'm using, really, I take the albuterol, say over a week, maybe 4 or 5 puffs. And the reason I take the puffs is before I go to a workout at my health club.
Right.
When I get on the Stairmaster, the Cybex Stairmaster, not that wussy thing with the air conditioner with it, not that deal. I take the tough one, and I do 45 minutes, on this. And wow. So that should explain how good I'm doing.
Now, could have you done that 21 years ago before you came in?
I'd be dead. I would just pass out from lack of oxygen. It would just have been no way.
I mean, I bring this. I wanted you to talk about Jim because it's always allergy season in Houston.
Yeah.
Year round, we've got mold spores.
Yeah.
And then we've got our seasonal allergies, which right now will be coming shortly. We're filming this right now in July. So shortly, the ragweed will be pollinating and all the weed pollens, and that goes until the first freeze in the fall. Sometime, in November, early December sometime. Once you get your first freeze, that's it.
Yeah.
As far as that knocks all the weeds out. And then, of course, you've got the mold, and when people turn on the heat, they've got all that mold up in the ducts, and that comes out, and people get problems at that point. And then you get the spring, you get the tree pollens, oak and all the other trees pollinate. Your car gets that covered with the green. And then you have late spring, early summer, you have grass pollens. And then we have dust mites in our bed year round, of course. And we recommend dust covers for your bed so that the dust mites can't get through. And dust mites, mold spores, animal damage, and of course you have animal damage. The one now you had problem with all these animals. It's interesting. I don't see that as frequently. I do see it with cats. Cats, because they lick their fur, and that their saliva is really dried protein, and that is very allergenic to people. So people that have cats and allergies, cats and allergies don't mix well. I don't rarely see anybody who's allergic to a dog like you are. That's amazing.
By the way, I'm not allergic to them anymore.
By
the way. Nor cats anymore.
Is that right?
Yeah, we have 3 cats and a dog.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you had problems with cattle. My mama, God bless her, she had problems with horses. Now, she didn't ride horses, but when we went on vacations, the kids would go and they let us go on a little trail ride. Well, Mom would come out, but if she touched that horse, she would break out a rash all over. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
How that is.
So that was.
So anyway, and besides this, we not only treat for the allergies. As a matter of fact, the Hotze Health Wellness Center started as an allergy center originally, back in 1989, 1990. For the first 3 years we operated here, strictly allergies, and we had a very huge allergy practice.
Yeah.
I'd say at one time we had up to 1,500 people that were on active allergy treatment, if you can imagine that. So it's not that big anymore because we have some other things that we do that help people prevent allergies. We found out, particularly in women, if they could balance their hormones, that would dramatically decrease their allergic problems. I found out when women would come in to see me at the office, after they had kids, they'd go like, I never had a problem until I had my babies, and now I've got all my allergies. Yeah. Well, I knew there was some connection between allergies and hormonal changes, and I didn't know what it was. I'd tell them, go see your OB-GYN, but I found out that when women's progesterone levels went down after they had children, and as they matured, the progesterone levels would go down. That's the hormone of the menstrual hormone of the last half of the month, that they would develop allergies. So when they had hormonal imbalances, that triggered, if they had a genetic predisposition towards allergies, that would set it off. And I found that oftentimes we could treat women and balance out their hormones, and then their allergies would resolve.
Right.
So we didn't need as much immunotherapy. But people continue to have allergy problems, and that's why I wanted to introduce Jim and his story to you, because if you've got allergy problems, they can be resolved. If you've got asthma, it can be resolved. You don't need to be on a bunch of inhalers.
Yeah.
You don't need to be on weekly shots. We use low-dose immunotherapy here, and that's a combination of very low doses of the very things people are allergic to. It's interesting, talking about allergy. Allergy really is much like homeopathy. And I'll explain to you why. In homeopathic medicine, homeopaths believe for every substance that causes a problem, whether it's bacterial, viral, allergies, there's another dilution of that substance that will neutralize the problem. So you remember you first came in and I neutralized you?
Yes.
That was with low doses of, I'm not sure if it was probably the allergens that neutralized you. We have other things that we do on neutralization, but I would have used allergens on you. So low doses, very minute amounts of allergens, I was able to neutralize what a large dose of allergens was causing you a problem. I turned it around with a low dose, and it neutralized it. Now, how does that work? I can't explain how it works. It just works. And I learned it from other doctors in the field, and it's dramatic. Neutralization, as you told in your story, is dramatic.
Yeah.
And low-dose immunotherapy is really remarkable, and it's really the latest, and not many doctors do low-dose immunotherapy. What you do is you get tested. We do a blood test on you just to see in general what's going on in your system, immunological system, as far as airborne and food allergies go. And then our allergy specialist here develops the dose of the low-dose immunotherapy you need to be on, and then you take about 1 cc under the tongue once every 7 weeks. That beats coming in every week for shots or taking sublingual drops every day. It's very simple. We mail it to you. You don't have to come into the office. That's why I wanted you to come in, Jim, and explain this, because every time I see you, I say, can he still be healthy like that? And then you are.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's amazing. And you keep coming up with these new things, and it just gets better and better.
And we've got, of course, we've got you on some thyroid as well.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Well,
Yeah,
the
thyroid helped. Yeah.
Thyroid, you're taking 3 grains of thyroid, and of course, thyroid governs a person's metabolism, their metabolic rate. And so you've been on thyroid for years.
Immediately,
ever since.
We started with Armor.
Yeah.
And then went into the compounded.
Right.
And I had the porcine. Am I saying that
porcine.
right? Porcine, sorry. And then now I'm on veggie. And
Right.
Veggie's, for me.
Yeah.
I've heard there's people, some like this, some like that, but I'm veggie.
You're doing
I'm
fine.
a veggie guy.
And plus, we do have you on low-dose cortisol.
Right.
And cortisol is your natural anti-inflammatory hormone. And as we age, especially with people that have chronic allergies and all that, it puts stress on the adrenal glands. And cortisol can help relieve that stress and balance out your hormones. So we do that. And you take some DHEA, which helps you with your male hormone. You're not taking any testosterone.
No, I don't need that.
Are you bragging or complaining?
I'll neither confirm nor deny. But anyway.
And then, of course, we have you on a vitamin and mineral program as well.
Yeah. And the energy formula and homocysteine has been helping.
Yep.
Yeah. And by the way, on the cortisol, because I'm getting better, Debbie is lowering the dose.
Yeah, I saw that.
How about that?
That's great.
Yeah.
Listen, I noticed you're taking 5,000 international units of vitamin D, and you've got a level about 73, which is good. If I were you, I'd bump that up. Take 10,000 a day.
No problem there.
And you want to get it up close to 100. You could run it well over 100. The range is 30 to 100. But this is measuring people like you and me before we took any vitamin D3, and we're rarely out. I'm never out. in the sun. I mean, I may play golf, but unless I'm playing golf, I'm in here all day. I don't get any sun. And I take personally 20 to 30,000 international units every day just to get mine up near 100. It takes me that much. So everybody's a little bit different. Plus, you need to take some K2 with it, vitamin K2, because that helps drive it into the bone.
Okay.
But anyway, vitamin D is a very important nutrient for your immunological system, for your heart, for your brain function. And vitamin D is not, by the way, it's not a vitamin. It is a hormone. Yeah, vitamin D is a hormone.
You did tell me that a long time ago. I've forgotten.
Vitamin D is made by the body. The body doesn't make any vitamins or minerals. All those have to come exogenously through the foods that we eat. Vitamin D, you can get it through food if you drink vitamin D fortified milk that they put vitamin D in, but it doesn't come in anything. So you're going to get your vitamin D from the sun. UV light takes your cholesterol in your body and converts it to vitamin D. And the cholesterol is also the building block for your cortisol and for your sex hormones and for your adrenal hormones. That's the building block is cortisol. So vitamin D really is a hormone, interestingly enough.
That makes sense.
Well, Jim, I want to tell you how much we appreciate the opportunity you've given us to serve you over the years. I want to thank you for having reciprocated and brought us numerous. You've referred numerous people here, and you've just been a great example. I mean, and it's been remarkable how the therapy that we provided you has really made a dramatic improvement of your life. We offer that to anybody. If you want to get on a path of health and wellness, then don't hesitate to give us a call. Also, if you would like to, give us a call at 281-698-8698. That's the phone number on the screen, and we'll give you a copy of Hormones, Health, and Happiness free of charge. We'll ship it to you without any shipping charge. I'd like you to have it. Just give us a phone call. We count it a privilege to have the opportunity to serve you. So thanks for joining us today. And Jim, thanks you so much, sir.
Thank you, everybody here. I appreciate it, believe me.
Physician's Preference Pharmacy is a compounding pharmacy specializing in custom-made prescriptions made especially for you right here on site in our compounding lab. Compounded medications offer a unique solution because you're not one size fits all, and we believe that your medication shouldn't be either. You may require a dose to be made that is not commercially available, or you might even be allergic to an inactive ingredient in a medication, which may present a barrier to treatment for you and requires it to be made without that bothersome ingredient. Your body has unique needs, which means that you deserve a customized approach. So if your medications aren't helping you feel your absolute best, then consider speaking with your doctor about having your medications compounded today.
Information provided on this program is neither intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice and is not intended to replace the services of a physician, nor does it constitute a doctor-patient relationship. You should not use information from this radio program to diagnose or treat a health problem or disease without consulting with a qualified healthcare provider. If you have or suspect you have an urgent medical problem, promptly contact a professional healthcare provider or call 911. Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution advises you to always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified health provider prior to starting any new treatment or with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Any application of the recommendations from this program is at the listener's discretion.